Good evening. Welcome to the Board of Education meeting for Greeley Evans School District 6. Today is February 10th, 2025. This meeting will now come to order. Please stand and join us for the Pledge of Allegiance to our flag.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Ms. Lemon, will you call the roll for us, please?
Director Azari.
Present.
Director Bentley.
Present.
Director Campos-Spitzy.
Present.
Director Mash.
Present.
Director Matthews.
Present.
Director Norwood.
Present.
Director Sullivan.
Present.
All board members present.
Thank you, Ms. Lemon. Well, again, welcome. We are so glad that you're joining us tonight, whether you're here with us in person or joining us online. Thank you for being invested in our school district. And so just a few announcements before we get started. Number one, our high school seniors, the Greeley Dream Team and Gear Up and District 6 staff tomorrow are offering a free student financial aid assistance. It's at the Boys and Girls Club, Teen Center from 5 to 7. It really is for help filling out the FAFSA, I think. And so if you have not filled out the FAFSA, if you have a senior or if you have kids in college, you need to fill out that FAFSA. And if you do need help, we do have some help available. It's tomorrow night at our Boys and Girls Club Teen Center. Also, we're looking for some help with curriculum. And we do this with every curriculum, by the way. Sometimes you hear, if you listen to the news, you would think that no one ever has any input into curriculum that school districts choose. Well, that's not true. It's not been true the entire time I've been on the board. Every curriculum we choose, we give our community a month to examine. And so right now, we are upgrading our, language arts curriculum. It's high school, I think. English language arts materials for our high school students, yes. And so that material it is in our lobby at this building and in the district administration building. It has been there since February 5th. It'll be there until March 5th. And we would love for people just to come and look. We have an entire process that we go through when we choose a curriculum. It is first chosen by a team of people that include our high school English teachers. It includes some of our specials teachers, GT teachers, English language teachers. And so they choose that curriculum. They have an entire rubric that they use. Then it goes to our community. Community will get to look at that for the next month. Community can come and present their comments to us at our next board meeting. And then at some point, we will make a final decision on that curriculum. And so that's the curriculum process. We're just doing that for our high school English curriculum right now and would love your feedback. So for anybody listening, please come to the district administration building sometime in the next month and check out the new curriculum. And that's all I've got for us tonight, and we'll move on in our agenda. Next on our agenda is our superintendent's honor roll. So Dr. Pilch, I'll give it to you.
Thank you, President Matthews. And I just have a couple of things listed in our agenda tonight. I have Miss Jessica Whitcomb, who is a first grade teacher at Maplewood Elementary, and I'm honored to recognize her for being recognized as a Colorado Council of International Reading Association award winner. She is also a past president with the CCIRA. She is being recognized for being an outstanding teacher as one of the teachers in her first 5 years in the teaching of literacy, and she will receive this award at the annual Colorado Council of International Reading Association Literacy Conference in Denver on February 6th. She's not able to be with us tonight, but congratulations to Miss Whitcomb. And since she is not able to be here tonight, I'd like to recognize some folks who are going to be here tonight with us for their outstanding work and leadership in District 6, and that is our Success Foundation. Many of us were able to attend the Success in 6 Awards here in District 6 between our last board meeting and this board meeting, and it was a lovely, lovely night. And hundreds of educators were nominated, and only a handful get to be picked and recognized that night. And it was such a great event, and I'm so grateful to all that the Success Foundation does for District 6, and so grateful to Julie Hill and her board and all that you all do for us here, and for especially for honoring our educators last week. It was just a beautiful evening, and I know that President Matthews and I, we get to be on the stage. We get to shake the hands and hug and congratulate the honorees. And so we get a special place in the ceremony where we get to see close up and personal how honored each of those educators feel that evening. And then we get to see the guests in the audience from the stage view. We get to see the family members and friends and colleagues as folks are recognized that night for being nominated, and then the winners, of course. So thank you for that evening. It was lovely. And this morning, I got to be with the students who serve on the Success Foundation Junior Board. So these are high school students from across the district that serve on the junior board for the Success Foundation. And what a delightful morning. What a great way to start my day. So I was tasked with going in to talk about communication with the students, and it really turned out to be a conversation around communication and leadership. And I just talked for a little bit, and then I opened it up to them to ask questions. Their questions were so intelligent, so thoughtful, and so wise. And here we were on a Monday morning at 7:45, and they were engaged and brilliant. And I think they would have stayed much longer. They would have. I mean, they had to be cut off and stopped from asking their questions. And what a lovely audience, and what a joyful way for me to start my day as superintendent of schools. And I'm so grateful to Delia Hafley and Julie Hill for inviting me there to be with those students, and grateful to the students this morning who welcomed me and honored the district in the way that they did. So thank you, congratulations, and thank you for being such a wonderful part of District 6. Thank you, President Matthews.
Thank you, Dr. Pilch. Next on our agenda tonight is the approval of the agenda, and we'll need a motion to do that.
I move that the Board of Education of Greeley Evans School District 6 approves the agenda as presented.
Second?
Thank you both. Is there any discussion on the agenda? I don't see any, so Ms. Lemon, will you give us a vote, please?
Director Zari,
Aye.
Director Bentley,
Aye.
Director Campos-Spitzy,
Aye.
Director Mash,
Aye.
Director Matthews,
Aye.
Director Norwood,
Aye.
Director Sullivan.
Aye.
Motion carries 7-0.
Thank you, Ms. Lemon. Next on our agenda is our Greeley Central High School Best Buddies and the Arc of Weld County Film Festival. And so I'd like to invite those representatives to come forward and make their presentation at this time. Thank you all for being here tonight.
Thank you. My name's Mary Goffany, and I'm the intensive functional learning teacher at Greeley Central and also the Best Buddies advisor. And we want to invite you to come see what amazing things our students with disabilities can do by the film festival that we're hosting. And I'm going to hand it over to our Best Buddies officers.
Good evening. I'm a junior at Central and the vice president of Best Buddies, and I'm here to talk about Best Buddies at Greeley Central. This year, Best Buddies has been working to grow the club and create even more opportunities for inclusion. Best Buddies is all about fostering a one-on-one friendships and bringing people of all abilities together. This year, we've connected through Unified PE, where students work as a team in fun and engaging activities, and we've hosted game days that bring everyone together to build friendships and have fun. Seeing these connections grow has been incredible, and we're excited to see what's ahead. As we continue to expand, we hope to create even more ways for students to feel a sense of belonging. Thank you for your time and supporting inclusion at Greeley Central. We're so excited for the future of Best Buddies.
Yay.
I'm Emmy, a senior at Greeley Central and the president of Best Buddies this year. I'm excited to invite you all to a very special event that embodies the values of inclusion and community, our upcoming film festival at Greeley Central High School in collaboration with the Arc of Weld County. Being a part of this wonderful process last year and the year before, I was able to truly experience and appreciate the creativity of our community and the shared passion we all have for inclusion. This film festival is truly one of my favorite events that Best Buddies takes part in. I could not be more excited to see the new innovation and the videos that our community have put together this year and to share them with the rest of our community. We would love for each of you to attend and to see firsthand how our students are using storytelling to promote a more inclusive community. Your presence would mean a lot to us, and we hope you will join us in celebration of these incredible films.
Hello, I am Gabby Luce, and I am a junior, and I am the events coordinator for Best Buddies. On March 27th, we will be hosting 2 screenings, one at 10 a.m. and another at 1 p.m. in the Greeley Central Auditorium. The festival will showcase short films, all under 3 minutes, centered around our theme, "We Are All in This Together." This theme highlights acceptance, inclusion, and belonging, core values that we strive to uphold in our school and our community. Thank you. We hope to see you all there.
Thank you.
Well, thank you, guys. We have always enjoy hearing from our best buddies and in the art. Next on our agenda is our Council of Student Representatives report. And as always, we are joined here by Mr. Timothy Longacre and Sarah Venegas. They are our Council of Student Representatives that sit with us at each board meeting, but we also, each board meeting, hear from a different group, representatives from a different school each board meeting. And so tonight, I think we have representatives from Union Colony. And so I invite you guys to come forward now.
Good evening. My name is Brandon Ramirez, and I'm a senior at Union Colony Preparatory. I'm a representative for the Council of Student Representatives, and I've been attending Union Colony for 6 years. I have learned a lot to love about the school. Being a smaller school, a person can get to know every person in their grade level. I remember leaving the school to do online due to COVID, but the year after, I returned and was welcomed by all the friends I knew. It was nice to know that I would be returning as if I had never left. Another thing I like about the school is the amount of clubs you can join. Currently, I'm a part of Key Club, Mock Trial, and Student Council. Within these clubs, I am able to be with friends and help out with volunteering in Key Club. With Mock Trial, we are able to learn about working as a team and create an argument about a court case and how to act it out. We learn how the court system works, and we compete against other schools. I also want to talk about the class of 2025. We'll be the first class to have graduates who have been a part of Union Colony since kindergarten. We have students who have started at Union Colony since the very beginning of us opening and graduating this year. Union Colony also introduces students to college classes through AIMS. This gives students a chance to be in a college setting and to learn how college classes work. This helps prepare students who want to pursue a degree. Staying on the topic of AIMS classes, Union Colony allows students to participate in the Ascent program. This allows students who have graduated to take a full year of free college classes the year after they graduate. Many of these students can continue to pursue a degree at AIMS or can earn credits to transfer to a 4-year university. I know many students who have benefited from this program and how much of a financial aid truly is. This doesn't prevent a student from wanting to head to a 4-year university right after they graduate from Union Colony, but it is just one of the options provided. Now I want to hand over the mic to my friend and member of CSR, Garrett Eskew, to allow him to tell his personal experience with Union Colony and what he thinks makes it great.
Good afternoon, board members. My name is Garrett Eskew, and I'm a student at Union Colony. And what I think makes Union Colony great is how we are a smaller school and how that kind of helps students get to know each other better. And the reason why I was to that is, like Brandon said, with all the clubs we have and all the opportunities that give students to get to know each other and learn more about the small school we are. And another thing is some new exciting opportunities for our high school students is our introduction of 3 new pathways for graduation, each to help to let students meet their own goals. And our first pathway is the UC Core pathway, which requires students to complete 46 semester classes along with 4 years of advisory. And our second option is the Congruent Core pathway, where students take between 6 to 10 AIMS semester classes along with 36 to 40 Union Colony semester classes including 4 years of advisory. And finally, our associate degree pathway, designed for students who want to challenge themselves further by earning their associate's degree when they graduate. This pathway requires 31 Union Colony semester classes and 19 Ames semester classes with 4 years of advisory. Each of these pathways provides a unique opportunity for students to reach their own independent goals, whether it be college or start a career right after they graduate. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Garrett. I think we might have some questions for you. Mr. Longacre has one.
Thank you, President Matthews. I just wanted to give some shout outs to Union Colony. I appreciate that their school is especially focused on fostering leadership through hands-on activities from the sounds of it. Very nice to also hear that both of you are involved in those events and activities that your school holds. And it really sounds nice with the special activities that you provide when it comes to earning college credits and degrees. It sounds like your school is very strong in that pathway. So I hope to see both of you trying to achieve goals in those pathways and go for what your school offers you, because it sounds like a great experience and a great school to go to.
Thank you, Mr. Longacre. Ms. Mesh.
Well, thank you for your presentation. And 2 questions, I guess. I was just curious if you know how many students are in the high school for Union Colony, just for kind of ballpark. I don't know. And then maybe you shared how long have you all been at Union Colony?
So I know an estimate of how many students are there. There's roughly around 400 at our school. And I've been at Union Colony since 7th grade, and now I'm a junior, so that's roughly 5 years.
I first started attending Union Colony at 5th grade, but since COVID happened, I missed a year, so that's around 6 years I've been attending Union Colony.
Okay. Thanks for sharing that. It's fun to hear, that it's been a good fit for you, and you've moved all the way through. And then you said this is the year that students who start in kindergarten will have graduated?
Yes.
Yeah. Wow, that's great. Thank you.
I don't see any more questions for you guys. I'll just say thank you for your service to the Council of Student Representatives. And thank you guys as well. This is truly a valuable organization for our district. For those that don't know, they meet together about twice a month, I think, and or every other week, something like that. They provide a lot of valuable feedback to our administrators on different district policies. A couple of them are going to the Capitol on Thursday to meet with representatives and to advocate for different things for our district. And so you guys are a great voice in our district, and we appreciate all of you very much. And thank you guys for being here tonight. Thank you, Mr. Allen, too, for being our faculty sponsor. Next on our agenda is our Success Foundation update. And so I'd like to invite Ms. Julie Hill and Mr. John Shetler, looks like, coming to the podium. Thank you guys for being here, and I'll hand it over to you for your update.
Thank you. Yes, I'm John Shetler. I currently serve as president of the Success Foundation Board of Directors, a position I enjoy very, very much. And we usually start most of our meetings with just sort of a repeating of what our mission and vision are. So if you don't mind, though it's posted, I will read that. Our mission is to build a strong and healthy community by bringing resources together in support of pre-K through 12 education. And our vision is, which we've just recently revamped because we felt we weren't kind of up to the times. Our vision is to enhance the success of District 6 students and educators by encouraging, enriching, and investing in strategic initiatives. And if I could just sort of list off our board members, can you click that for me forward? I don't want to, in case I forget somebody's name. So our current board members are Terry Belinsky, Kathy Entwistle, Darla Francis, Diana Gamboa, Neil Kingman, Eric Naki, Brent Kramer, William Neidig, Natise Parent, Sarah Potter, myself, and it's actually Kelly Henderson instead of Zielman now. But yes, we're very happy to serve District 6 and enjoy every bit of work that we come across. And I'll let Julie provide some details on what we've been working on.
Thank you, John. And thank you for having us here tonight. It's always fun to come and report what we've been doing the last year. Some of these you have heard about for a while, but good news, I'm going to start with our Smart Lab project. In 2024, installation was complete. So that was a huge accomplishment for the district. There are 21 smart labs now in our elementary, middle, and K-8 schools. In 2024, the Success Foundation invested almost $870,000 for that project. And then the total amount of the project raised from our community, grant funders, people that believe in our children, was $4.2 million for smart labs. So really excited that that is a district-wide project. It's accessible to all of our students. I would like to give a shout out to back in July 1st, I think July 1st is when the direction of Smart Labs fell under Assistant Superintendent Anthony Osmus and his team, Jenny Schilling and Jordan Carlberg. And they've just done a tremendous job in aligning Smart Lab learning with our career exploration and development, and we're really excited to see where smart labs are going. So those will be in place for years to come, and I know now the district will have some mill levy override dollars are working to sustain those labs, but just really excited to have that project complete. Another project you've heard a lot about the last few years is our school food pantries. So I think Danielle Bach was here. There she is. This was a dream of Danielle's several years ago, and I think it's finally come to fruition. So yes, very exciting. There are now 34 school food pantries in our schools. That is they're at all school sites, including our charter schools. And we've had some tremendous support this year for our school food pantries. So the Weld Trust was a big funder of initial equipment needs, but this last year, and I'm going to shout out to our marketing people in the world, we had a donor that gave $150,000 to our school food pantries at the end of the year unsolicited. We did not know who this donor was. They are not in our database, and it was simply because I think the stories that are being told, the impact that a project like this is making, and so we are very grateful for that type of support. I'm a little embarrassed when I don't know who a donor is, but also very grateful to receive that type of support, and I think that will really help as we work to sustain those pantries. But Danielle and her team do a wonderful job. I know one thing our funders have really been excited about is the now we're packaging and storing and sending food home from our kitchens that previously had to go to waste, so reclaiming that food. So great job to your team. I think it's just an amazing project. And again, nobody gives us money if they don't believe in what is going on. So I think that's the good news. They believe in what's happening in District 6 schools. So this year we partnered with the district on a couple of new projects. One was athletic support. Back in the spring, the district started to pilot some after-school athletics programming at the 4th and 5th grade level. And great timing for us. Then in August, we found out about the first ever Youth Sports Giving Day. And it's a statewide initiative where they are trying to increase athletics participation to 63% in the state of Colorado. So we had the opportunity to, because we live in Weld County and because we have the Weld Trust and they were part of this initiative, some of the funding raised on that day was matched 3-to-1. So for 2024, we have raised a little over $530,000. We have helped to support equipment and coaching stipends for those 4th and 5th grade programs, and then working again with Anthony and his team on building capacity at the middle and high school level, and really trying to determine what are those barriers, why are children not participating, and can we provide some resources that would help remove those barriers. The other program that we just started supporting this year was music. We learned that particularly around instruments, there's a lot of need. Many of our students may be sharing instruments or they need to be repaired, replaced. And so this is a very exciting project too. This was from the Bowl with the Burros activity. Mr. Azari was there a couple of weeks ago, really fun. Kathy Azari has been a wonderful partner on this music program, but the Burros did a fundraiser for us at the bowling alley, and several of our students got to get up there and have a little jam session with them. But at this point, we have donated $175,000 to this initiative. Our goal over the next couple of years is to try to help get the district to a 1 instrument to 1 student ratio in grades 6 through 12 to optimize that music education. We still continue to have support for the Career and Technical Education Center. received a nice gift this year from Chevron, primarily to support student kits needed in the CT programs at the CT Center. Our Delia and John W. Hafley Opportunity Fund grows. The need for and requests for that funding continues to grow. So this year, we did give a little over $55,000, and students are able to apply to that fund for as up to $500 for a variety of things. So we've helped fund children, our students going to conferences, driver's education training, music instruments, a variety of things out of that program, but it's great that we have the opportunity to support them. We never want financial reasons to be, we do not want barriers to be in place, financial barriers to be in place. We want everybody to go do what they want and need to do. This has been, since the beginning, we have given innovative learning grants to teachers and staff. We did switch from a 1 cycle per year grants to 2 cycles per year. That seems to be going well. Particularly after the pandemic, our applications plummeted, and so we thought we would try 2 cycles per year. And so in the fall, we did see a tremendous uptick in applications. We went from 9 the previous year to 31 in the fall. We've already awarded 15 this year for a little over $20,000, and then our second cycle is open right now that we will award for next school year. And then we get quite a few directed gifts and grants to a variety of different programs. And again, that was a little over $500,000 this last year, going for things like our internship program, variety of the individual schools, just if anyone, I remember when I first started with the Success Foundation, I may have told this story, someone called me and said, if I wanted to give money to District 6, who would I call? And they were talking to me. And I said, well, you got the right number. But we do get a lot of calls now that people are looking to give to a variety of projects or schools, and we're able to accept that and direct them wherever the donor requests. And as Dr. Pilch mentioned, our favorite event of the year is the Success in 6 Awards. We hosted it on January 30th at Ames. Growing, we may at some point have to find a bigger venue, but this year we had 148 nominees for our 5 different categories and almost 400 attendees. And I think the thing I love most about that event, and I told Dr. Pilch this that night, you see the love that our staff has for one another. And I think that's just a culture that's been built here. And we feel really bad because there is 148 very deserving people, and probably more than that weren't nominated. We'd love to give them all something amazing, but they're all very deserving, but they're just happy to be there together, happy to celebrate one another. And we will continue to host that event year over year. So thank you for being there. It was a really fun time, and always one of my favorites. Coming up is our breakfast. This is our 15th annual, believe it or not, but that will be on Tuesday, March 11th. We will be back at Northridge High School this year. Last couple of years, we've gone out to new locations with Greeley West and Toynton, but we will be back at Northridge. And Aaron Allen, thank you for hosting us. I know this year also, we've never really done it at Northridge. We've done it at the other schools, but we'll be providing, offering tours to our community so that they can see bond work that's been done at Northridge as well. There's new learning spaces there, so looking forward to being at Northridge. And that's it. I do appreciate you mentioning our junior board. We have a great group. As Dr. Pilch mentioned, we met this morning, but one of their projects has been our school food pantry program as well. In the fall, they held a food drive and collected quite a bit of food for all of our pantries and raised some money that they were able to support holiday meal bags for Prairie Heights Middle School. That's a school they've adopted, but great group of young people, and really, working with them on some leadership skills and philanthropy, and it's always fun to, get your day started with that group because they're full of energy, so even early in the morning. But thank you, happy to answer any questions, and once again, we're just very grateful and proud to be the foundation for Greeley Evans School District 6.
Thank you, Julie. Thank you, John. I bet we do have a few coming for you. I have one just to start us off. Can you tell us a little bit more about the innovative learning grants that you give out? How do you apply for those? What do those go toward?
Sure. Thank you for that question. Yes, I figure everybody knows about these things, but our Innovative Learning Grant Program, we award up to $2,500 per project. We will give more depending on the situation, but it is an online application that is out in the world right now. Our board members should be sharing that with all of our schools. And it's really, we've tried to open it up. It used to be more specific, but really it's a project that supports any of our Colorado academic standards. So we used to require 2, now it's just 1. So really opening up to a variety of projects that our staff or teachers want to implement in their classrooms. I think overall our teachers tend to do a wonderful job in starting it in maybe one classroom, and then they spread it out to a whole grade level or a whole school. So we really see those dollars going a long way.
Thank you. Mr. Longacre has a question.
Thank you again, President Matthews. Just quick thing, just a bit of word of recognition. I really wanted to thank you for those food pantries. Those have especially helped me as a student get week by week for sometimes when it gets rough at home. So I really appreciate just being able to have especially really good food available at my school when it's desperately needed, especially for the students in our school that I know really need that opportunity to go in and get extra food after the school day is done when they can't go out of school and go grocery shopping. So it's nice to have an opportunity like that within our school community. And additionally, the Northridge High School Band has definitely seen a bit of a profit from what you've done to help us bring more instruments into the band. I think we actually got a brand new sousaphone from the Success Foundation. That was a lot of money, but a massive help to the marching band. So just that money is definitely pushing us forward as a band and putting us more into the community. This year, we actually got the highest rating as a band in a recent CBA festival. So it was very nice. And I guarantee if it weren't for you, we wouldn't have been able to achieve such things. With these new instruments that you're providing us and the opportunities you're giving us to our students, it's really going to push us farther as a group. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Azari.
Yeah, a lot of just echoing what others have said, and I appreciated the words of Timothy over there. What I have found with the Success Foundation that I appreciate most is, we look at funding programs, and that's what we do. But the Success Foundation channels that money into funding individuals on the ground. That John and Delia Hafley Opportunity Fund I've seen it in action, directly impacts our kids and their lives, changes their lives. And the innovative learning grants for teachers to do some, just as it says, innovative learning projects inside their classrooms. And finally, to be a place where people in our community, I know there are quite a few, that would like to donate to the schools, and it gives us a place for them to go and for those funds to be sheltered in a safe way and to be given out in a prudent way throughout our district. So thank you for everything you do.
Thank you, Mr. Azari. Dr. Campos-Spitzy.
So I also wanted to thank you. I know the Smart Labs are a big deal, and I got to be at some of the openings of some of our Smart Labs, but now I have a kindergartner who loves her Smart Lab, and I always get to hear when her specials was in the Smart Lab, and so it's become even more real for me as a mom and as a parent. And then I wanted to thank you for pointing out that we can give to the Success Foundation for directed purposes. I know sometimes schools will do fundraisers through Chipotle or whatnot, and my husband does not like doing those because he's like, most of the money stays with Chipotle. If you want to give to the school, just give to the school. And so I was like, how do I do that? And you just answered that question. So.
Thank you, Dr. Campos-Spitzy. Ms. Hill, I have a question for you. I've heard a few reports now from you, and it seems like every year just the total goes up in terms of the money that the Success Foundation is able to raise and distribute to our district in some way. And do you have any idea how much that has gone up, just say in the last 8 years or so?
I do. I'm a numbers person. So when I started with the Success Foundation, and you have to remember the Success Foundation was new, so I don't take credit for this. It was a natural progression. It's also speaks to the work that you all are doing. But in 2016 or 2015, I believe the total revenues were $187,000 for the year. And in 2024, we raised a little over $3 billion.
That is some amazing growth, and I didn't know what those numbers were exactly. That's amazing that you know what those numbers are exactly.
But again, we were new, and I think I give a
Yeah.
lot of credit to our founders as well. They got the right people involved, and I will go back to fundraising is telling a story. And I think we can tell a very good story. And so I always tell everybody, my job is easy because we just get to go tell the good things of District 6. And I believe our community believes in our students and believes in the work that's happening, and that's why we've grown, so.
Well, I think that's true too. You have a fantastic board. This is a fantastic district, and that is the work of a lot of people, right? But I also want to thank you because that takes leadership and vision to grow the Success Foundation and the giving that much. That is truly remarkable work, and you're one of the great leaders. I know you're not. Are you in the district? Or yeah, it's
weird. Yeah.
We think of you as in the district, but you're also outside the district, and yeah, I just want to recognize you. That is tremendous work, Ms. Hill. So thank you.
Thank you.
Next on our agenda tonight is our superintendent's report. So Dr. Pilch, I'll give it back to you.
Thank you, President Matthews. It is my honor to introduce to you some new folks who are in the room tonight. And the first couple of these individuals, you already approved them on your agenda last month, but they weren't able to be with us. The first of whom is Mr. Jeremy Hayden, who is our new coordinator for restorative practices and prevention. So Jeremy, welcome and congratulations. You all may recognize Jeremy. He was previously the engagement specialist at Franklin and Heath Middle Schools. Those of you who were with us on our visit to Franklin, you remember Jeremy assisting us there in that visit. Jeremy has also served as the head football coach at Northridge High School, and I'm very proud of how he has turned that program around there at Northridge High School in his time. He also has served as a teacher here in the community, and we're just thrilled to have him here in District 6 in this position. And then also here tonight with us is Miss Jasmine Overshiner, our new coordinator for threat assessments. Jasmine comes to us having been a social worker here in the district, most recently at Winograd K-8 school. She also has a background as a caseworker in child protection with Weld County Department of Human Services, and previously was in South Dakota where she worked with the Children's Home Society. So welcome, Jasmine, to your new position. They both have already hit the ground running here with our safety and security team. So welcome to both of you. And then a new hire for you to consider tonight is Mr. Sean Skribick as Director of K-12 Athletic and Activities here in the district. And Sean has been here with us. As he said in his interview, Greeley is his home. District 6 is his home. He is currently serving as the assistant principal and athletic director at Greeley Central High School. He has big shoes to fill over there. It's a big job to fill, and yet we're very excited to have him in this new role in District 6. I say it's new because it's now a K-12 role. It has previously been just a high school and middle school role, and it has been half-time. As you heard tonight about the expansion of the elementary athletic program that the Success Foundation is supporting, as well as some significant donors here in our community, we are expanding our athletic and activity program down to the elementary level. And so this is going to require work K-12 throughout the system, and Sean is just the person for that work. Sean's background is also that as a science teacher, and he's also been a coach in various roles. So I hope you will approve him tonight on your personnel agenda. Welcome, Sean. I do have a few other announcements I want to share with you. Several of you mentioned the Career and College Readiness Conference this last Friday. I am so very proud of the work that went on this past Friday at this Career and College Readiness Conference. And I want to give a big shout out to Nelson Rodriguez and the other folks who were in charge of this conference. It had hundreds of students at this conference that was held out at Ames Community College. But our career and tech ed staff, they were all there, the leaders as well as the teachers and the support staff. Several of our district staff led workshops. Some of our administrators, some of our support staff led workshops for the students. As Mr. Azari said, with the students he spoke with that day, students were very engaged, very excited to be there. The kids really showed up, and it was really a quality day for the students. And just so proud of not only our students and how they showed up, but so proud of our staff and how they showed up. Really a quality event. We had visitors there from the Poudre School District and the Thompson School District coming to see what that event was all about and to learn from us. And I will just tell you that a decade ago, just as a decade ago, we weren't raising $3 million. A decade ago, folks in Poudre and Thompson weren't saying, let's go to Greeley, Evans School District to see what the Career and College Readiness Fair is all about. Just so proud of our team and the work that they are doing here. And then this past Saturday, again, just a real pride point. I got to be a part, just a small part. My part was very small. The morning of the AVID, our Advancement via Individual Determination Pathways to Success program at UNC. We partner with UNC, and they offer a part of a day for high school sophomores and juniors. About 300 students were there. They come in the morning. Again, they showed up on a Saturday morning. Several parents came with their students. I get to welcome them, and then they have the Director of Alumni Services greet them. He tells his story. He is an immigrant, and he is a college graduate, and now the Director of recruitment there at UNC. He tells his story to kick it off, and then they have the opportunity to select from workshops. They get to have lunch there on campus and tour the campus and really get courted to see themselves as a college student, and hopefully a student right here in our community at UNC. And again, just a really great day with college students. And so it was just a lot of fun, and super proud of our teachers who were there with the students, and of our district staff who were there to lead the day for the students, and for everybody giving up a Saturday to do that. And then I just want to close with this, that you may have seen in the paper on Sunday morning, a story about the possible redevelopment of downtown. The city and the county are involved in, and District 6 has a small part in that. It could involve some rebuilding of this building here, our old flooded building here. We did have a meeting this morning, President Matthews, Ms. Mash, and I, with the developer, to hear more about that possibility, that proposal. We will come to the Board of Education at the next board meeting, the work session, with the developer to discuss that proposal more in depth with the full board. And then we're happy to have even more conversation with each of you about that, so we can learn more about that possibility. It's still in the development stages. We're not completely sure where it's going. There's a lot of moving parts. The county and the city are really big players in this. We're a very small player in it, but we're excited that we've been invited to be considered in it. It's a significant opportunity for District 6, and we look forward to learning more. So more to come on that as soon as our next board meeting. Thank you, President Matthews. That's all I have this evening.
Thank you, Dr. Pilch. Yeah, that is an exciting opportunity, and one we look forward to hearing more about. Next on our agenda is Innovation 2030 Update, Strengthening Partnerships, Goal 1, Family Partnerships. I see Mr. Osmus coming up, so I will give it to you, Mr. Osmus.
Thank you.
Well, they're making their way to the podium. I hate to put any pressure on Mr. Reyes, but my husband watches all of our board meetings. It's his excitement on Monday evening TV, and he had watched our work session, and he texted me during the dinner break, and he said, that David Reyes is one cool dude. So no pressure, Mr. Reyes, as you come to the podium tonight, but I just wanted you to know that you have Mr. Pilch's approval.
I also gave him some advice, and I said, Mr. Reyes, don't blow it. So we're good. But good evening, President Matthews, members of the board, Dr. Pilch, and our Council of Student Reps. I'm Anthony Osmus. I'm Assistant Superintendent of Secondary and K Schools and Post-Secondary Readiness. Joined tonight by Mr. Brian Lemos, Director of Multilingual and Family Partnerships, the David Reyes, our Assistant Director of the Family Center and Cultural Excellence, and is Anne Maria Marcia, our District Title I Specialist. We're excited today to give you an update on the work District 6 is doing around strengthening partnerships with parents and families. Our work, as always, is grounded in our mission, where we're engaging students in a personalized, well-rounded, and excellent education, preparing them to be college and career ready, and in our vision where District 6 engages, empowers, and inspires today's students in partnership with families and communities to succeed in tomorrow's world. Strengthening partnerships is exciting work and is found in our Innovation 2030 strategic plan. Our District 6 strategic plan has 4 focus areas: student learning and achievement, strengthening partnerships, climate and culture, and operational and organizational effectiveness. And family partnerships is found in the strengthening partnerships focus area. Our first goal in this area is to strengthen relationships with parents and families. There are 2 objectives under this goal. The first, develop and implement a comprehensive district-wide family partnership plan that will be utilized in every District 6 school, and to develop and implement staff training to partner with families to fulfill the district-wide family partnership plan. And there are 3 outcomes that we monitor. First, schools will include and implement a family engagement goal or strategy in the annual improvement plan for their school, otherwise known sometimes as the UIP. Second, families will indicate they are satisfied with the climate of their school as indicated on the annual parent survey, which is happening right now. And third, school-based staff will be trained in effectively creating family partnerships and will use those strategies to support the student learning and achievement. And so to talk more about our work in strengthening partnerships is Mr. David Reyes.
Thank you, Anthony, and thank you again, Mr. Matthews and the rest of the board. Holy cow, Dr. Pilch. You got me a little nervous. It reminds me of when I was working over at Greeley Central as an assistant principal, and I left, and Mr. Skribic would always be texting me, what would David Reyes do in any type of situation? So thank you. But to get back on topic, so we developed an action team which consisted of multiple community members, administrators, parent advocates, parents, members supported with revision and the continued drive of the family partnership work. So as you see on the slide deck, all of those members that were on the action team, a big thank you to that group to keep us going with this family partnership plan. So some of the action steps that we've taken to strengthen family partnership include identifying the district-wide communication system for families and all stakeholders. Last spring, I had the opportunity to come up in front of the board and talked about the task force mission of identifying one communication method to best meet the needs of students and families and staff. The task force, we engaged in 5 different meetings throughout the semester, exploring different platforms that met the criteria created by the team, which includes messaging function. So is the app able to translate multiple different languages? Training, are they available to provide training for not only staff members, but also families? We also looked into technology. We're always aware of security issues when it comes to student and family data. So we wanted to make sure that the app provided enough security, and also the ease of use. There was a running joke within that communication task force that it should not take more than 4 clicks to be able to have communication between schools and families. So we as a task force, we recommended Blooms for the district-wide communication platform, which will be fully utilized in the fall of 2025. So a big thank you to all those folks that supported many evening events. We spent digging into different platforms and going through the vetting process of each platform. We continue to provide support for the parent-family advocates throughout the district with ongoing professional development, which includes high-impact strategies of family partnership. We leverage the National Standards for Family Engagement partnership model, and we also provide culture proficiency training that was done at the beginning of this school year by Dr. Aset Mariam.
basically providing staff, our parent family advocates, the tools to just be nice to folks, right? And the nicer we are to our families, the more open they're going to be at listening to all of us. We continue with voice visit trainings. Voice visits are home visits. Voice visits are intended to create positive relationships with families and students so that we can provide the best possible experience with education. Visits can happen in the home, coffee shops, sporting events. We've had visits on the city bus, in doctor's offices as well, and so they can happen anywhere. We've actually had Dr. Pilch engage in voice visits alongside with our parent family advocates over the past 2 years with the intentions of just listening and building relationships. So I personally want to thank you, Dr. Pilch, for engaging in those voice visits throughout the last few years, 2 years. It's truly changed lives and made a difference to families, just giving them the confidence to engage genuinely with staff members. So thank you. Spanish for Family Partnership, we continue to provide this high impact strategy to D6 staff members. Basic Spanish has allowed staff to be more confident when engaging in conversation with the Spanish speaking family. As to date, we have 145 D6 staff members that have engaged in Spanish for Family Partnership. It's a 6-week class. They meet for an hour and a half a week, and they're actually given homework throughout the 6-week session. And they also utilize Duolingo to extend the learning out of classroom time. To this day, I still have staff when I walk into the buildings that have participated in Spanish for Family Partnership saying, hey, Mr. Reyes, I'm on level, 452, right? And Anthony over here, he has a 230-day streak of using Duolingo. So I continue I encourage him to speak Spanish with me, and he just doesn't feel comfortable, right? So un día, Anthony, vamos a hablar puro español, okay? Mañana, he said mañana. So I'm gonna hold him to that. But in all seriousness, Anthony and I had a conversation about his experience learning Spanish, that he just doesn't feel comfortable yet to fully engage, right? And we had a conversation. Maybe that's what our multilingual learners feel, right? When they're in classroom, they just don't quite have that confidence to fully engage and experience the English language. So un día, Anthony, vamos a hablar español, okay? So currently we have 22 staff members. We have a session going on every Tuesday night over at D6 Online Academy. And we have, tomorrow will be week 2. And a special thank you to Jessica Cooney, Erica McNichol, and the rest of the group who helped launch that Spanish for Family Partnership. It's been so impactful within our school district. So we also started a family engagement series. So the family engagement series provides families with learning opportunities to attend events that provide valuable information on topics such as attendance, Infinite Campus, open enrollment, career pathways, CTE, post-secondary planning, and concurrent enrollment. Listening sessions help build authentic relationships between staff and family, fostering trust and open communication. Engaged and informed families are more likely to be involved with their child's education, leading to better student outcomes and stronger sense of community within the district. Like I talked during the work session, we have so many great things happening in our school district. Anthony and a bunch of us have been able to get together and provide these learning opportunities for families to be able to ask follow-up questions and really dig into what does open enrollment mean? What does Infinite Campus look like? How do I access that? So thank you, Anthony, for supporting with those family engagement series. And next, I'd like to introduce Maria Macias, our Title I specialist.
Thank you, David, and thank you, board, for having me here today. So I'll just again
celebrating how amazing the food pantries have been for our district. So again, we have 34 pantries throughout the district that are being serviced by nutritional services, and families are allowed to go in and get 1 or 2 bags of food. Here's a perfect example of what Bella Romero is doing and putting the hours of when they're available for families to go ahead and go in. And these are serviced by, again, parent family advocates, counselors, nurses, and school administration, and making sure that these are available for our families throughout the district. And a perfect example of how this was done in one of our buildings was through Jill Barnes, a principal at Shashina Elementary, helping a family from one of our parent groups and making sure she had access to the pantry even on the weekend. So we really are working around and making sure that we're strengthening our partnerships with families by making sure that these are available for them. Another thing that we're doing throughout the district to strengthen partnerships has been through our listening sessions that we've had with our families, thanks to Dr. Pilch. The first one that we had was with our Title I schools at the Link Library. Then we had another one for all schools at Meeker Elementary. And we've also been having affinity groups for our Black families at the district office and Link Library. So during these listening sessions, we usually start them off with a conocimiento, but what our focus really is about answering these questions with our families and getting input of what they think. So the first question is, what are your hopes and dreams for your students? A lot of the families let us know that they want a comprehensive vision for their students' future, as well as balancing academic goals with personal development, emotional well-being, safety, and a strong sense of community and values. The second question we ask them has been, what does a welcoming school look like to you? A lot of the families highlighted the importance of creating a supportive, safe, and engaging environment where families feel connected, valued, and actively involved in the school community. And usually the last question that we ask them has been, what could schools do better to better meet your and your students' needs? They offered a need for a desire for a more personalized and inclusive approach to education, where communication is key and families are partners and schools provide a robust support for both academic and emotional support. So we're hoping to continue some of these sessions and answer and work with them, trying to answer the concerns that they might have, as well as center our meetings around safety and security, because that's one of the things that they emphasized in our first meeting, as well as continue to working with them in creating a welcoming school environment. And this has all led to strengthening our partnerships and seeing an increase in McKinney Vento identification. So I just did want to give you guys a brief overview about the McKinney Vento Act. So that is a federal law that guarantees educational rights for homeless children and youth. And by strengthening our partnerships, we've been able to identify more families throughout the years, through our parent family advocates, through those counselors at the schools that have been identifying these families. Again, by doing all these things at the schools. And we've also been able to increase community referrals with our parent family advocates and the relationships that they have built with their families in the buildings they work with, as well as increasing our family voice through the Panorama survey and the attendance at the events that we've hosted for our families throughout the district. Now I'll hand it off to Brian to let us know a bit more about the outcomes.
Good evening, Mr. Chair and members of the board. My name is Brian Lemos. I'm the Director of Multilingual Learners Programs for the district and also Family Engagement, which also includes a family center. So I get the privilege of working with Maria and David Reyes. So I just, it's amazing just how this journey has come. I remember when Dr. Pilch first came on and we really took intentional work around our multilingual learners. And a key piece of that was engaging our parents. And I remember the Welcome Center being right over here where communications is at, and then developing and creating a plan that decided to move it to the Family Center, which is just amazing, amazing work. On the next 3 slides, I just want to go over some outcome data. So the first slide that I want to talk about is basically by 2025, 85% of our families surveyed will indicate satisfaction within school climate section of the annual Panorama Parent Survey. As you can see, in 2021 and 2022, we were at 74%, 77% in 22-23, and 76% last year. So we've had overall about right around about a 75% satisfaction rating, which is pretty good. When we met with the consultants from Panorama this last year, or just most recently with Jenny Jensen and I and David Reyes, they told us that's actually really, really good. Now we're trying to get to the 85%, but we're well on our way and putting some things in place, as you heard in the work session. The other thing that sticks out is that the window is open right now. And as of today, we've had over 3,000 respondents to our survey, which is another great indicator because it means that parents are feeling very, very valued in their responses and having voice with us. The window closes on February 21st, so we're expecting definitely more respondents coming in. The next slide shows our 2025, 90% of schools will have a family engagement goal or strategy within the Unified Improvement Plan. As you can see, we've been well on our way and we met our goal. So that's great. So currently we started at 33% in 21-22, and right now we have met the goal with 93% of our schools having a plan, a strategy within the Unified Improvement Plan, which is pretty awesome. And we'll continue through our equity teams to help support them to make sure that they're getting the support they need in order to get to that 100%. By 2027, 90% of school sites will be trained in creating a family partnership support that will, sites will be trained in creating family partnerships to support student learning. We're on our way. Right now, we're at 55%. We're a little bit short of that 90%, but we have a lot of things happening that are in place, such as our voice visits, empathy interviews, and so forth, really to get people trained up. And we have a consolidated plan with CDE, a framework that we're looking at and how we're going to train those folks in those buildings. So we are definitely well on our way, and we'll really believe that this work will happen for us. So we have a couple more years to meet that goal, and we're going to be very intentional on how we help support buildings to do that, from not only district level, but also the building level. And lastly, I'm going to talk about the next steps, the next phase of our family engagement implementation plan. Right now, we have 13 schools that are fully implementing the family engagement implementation plan, and we're looking for 5 more schools this next year. And our goal is to eventually get all schools to really buy into that framework and to get the proper training so that they're doing empathy visits or empathy voice visits, listening sessions, and a lot of other training that's going to be very, very intentional to engage their parents into the schools and getting them there to be involved, but more importantly, to feel like they have voice. And then onboarding all 21C sites with the co-creation of a family partnership plan. That is one of the prongs that we have. There's instructional prong, there's community connections, and then also the family engagement for all our 21C sites. We have 11 of those sites, and so we're well on our way to meeting with those parent advocates, those principals, to say what is the intentional plan to really implement a family partnership plan at those sites. And then lastly, supporting schools with the family engagement action steps and the UIPs, and to make sure we get to 100% by 25-26. Anthony?
And I'll just close by saying this is very intentional work, and I think we're seeing a lot of great benefit from this too, just from the input that we're getting from our community. And so with that, we take any questions that you might have.
First, thank you all for that update. And Mr. Azari will start us off with questions.
Just a couple. So the family engagement implementation plan, is that something that our goal is to be completed at every school in the district? Because right now on the slide it was 5, correct? Is that?
Yeah, are you looking, you want to talk about it? You have 5 more, you're looking for 5 more?
Yeah, looking for 5 more, and the goal is to have it implemented at every site here in our school district.
Okay, and then the next question just kind of follows up on that one, and that is, how are parents notified about the surveys that we give them? And has there been an increase in respondents since we've started those?
Yeah, and I can answer that. I still have 2 students in the system, so I'm getting emails right now, and we looked at the number per school, percentage per school today, and we're actually put another push out to families, and so it's just very important to us to get that feedback from families, and so we'll do another push this week so that we can increase that, and we know sometimes we just hear from people who are not happy, and we want to make sure that we say, like, just even if you think that it's going well, we want to know. We just want to hear from you.
And I'm sorry, one other follow-up. Those surveys are both in English and Espanol, I would presume.
Correct.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Azari.
And I'll add, go ahead.
The answer to your question is yes, we have got more respondents from the family survey.
Just English and Spanish?
And I believe there's also Corinne, that's, the documents translated into. So talking about the increase in responses. So if I can go back to this particular slide here. So we saw an increase from 21 to 22 school year, and then we saw just a tiny bit of a dip, but that dip includes a little bit over 1,000 more responses that we had received from the previous year, which is a little over 4,000 responses. So we're well on our way to receive more responses this time around. So we also leverage our parent family advocates to get that information out. Make it just like a little friendly competition within the parent family advocate world, but they do know the importance of getting a family voice from as many folks as we can.
Dr. Kempa-Spitzy.
So yeah, I also have an email right now sent by Principal Allison Ferguson at 10:27 in the morning. Please complete Meeker parent survey. So we get them. I wanted to thank you for using the word intentional. I think I was a little bit nervous over the summer when there was restructuring around this work, that it would continue, and I was assured by Dr. Pilch that it would. And when I hear that listening sessions are still happening, voice visits are still happening, empathy interviews are still happening, and that our goals are still, lofty and wonderful, and we're really strategically trying to meet them, it just makes me so happy to hear that.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Kempa-Spitzy. Ms. Sullivan.
So I want to thank all of you guys for the work you do, but Mr. Reyes, you left the room upstairs after the work session when you did your presentation, and you didn't get a chance to hear, but everybody up there was very much impressed. The engagement that you have and the intentionality behind what you are doing. Your passion does come through, and the community building that you're doing within the parents is so crucial, and you're taking the building outside of the academics, which is what's going to help bring the success with our family. So thank you very much. I don't have a question. I just wanted to deeply compliment you for the work you're doing.
Thank you, Ms. Sullivan. Ms. Venegas.
Thank you. I just really wanted to voice my appreciation that teachers are wanting to learn Spanish and those basics within that language. I think it's so very helpful. I remember in elementary school when I would have to translate between my teacher and my parents because of that barrier. Therefore, learning those basics in Spanish helps break that barrier in order for teachers to effectively communicate with parents about important information about their own students. You mentioned teachers lose that confidence a little bit, especially when they're barely getting into the basics of Spanish, but even if they have those little basics, just the hellos, the how are yous, the basic communication, it's also very helpful because those parents probably know nothing. So if you know a little bit more than them, it's definitely still helpful. So just knowing a little bit is better than knowing none. So I really just wanted to voice my appreciation of teachers learning and wanting to break that barrier. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
I have another question, and it's about the training that our sites receive on engaging our parents. And I think we started off somewhere around 20%. Now we're at 55%. We're trying to get to 90%. And we gave ourselves kind of a long runway with that. And so just tell us a little bit more about how long it takes to train our staff on this. I mean, what kind of work is that? I mean, it seems like it's very intentional work, and it takes a long time to get it done. So I would love just to hear a little bit more about it.
Yeah, and I've learned the hard way to start with folks that are ready to engage in family partnership, especially with the voice visits, because I think home visits are kind of scary on both ends, on staff end and also on families' ends. But that's why we intentionally changed the name to voice visits, because it's not so threatening, and we changed the focus to be relationship building. So we start with folks that are ready, and then we let them talk about it within staff meetings within the building about their experiences with voice visits. And what that does is it creates excitement to do another round of voice visit training within each individual building. I've been to buildings probably 4 different times to train the entire staff, but slow and steady is my focus.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah.
And I don't see any other questions for you guys, but I will just echo Ms. Sullivan's thanks and all of our board's thanks for this very intentional work. Mr. Reyes, your story about your father reminded, I think, all of us just how intimidating schools can be for people. If you don't, we didn't all have great experiences in schools, and even if we did have great experiences in schools, and even if we know schools very well, sometimes we have an incredibly professional staff, and they know a lot about education, and it can just be an intimidating place to go into. And so thank you guys for your work in reaching out to our families and welcoming them, inviting them into our schools and making schools safe places. Thank you. Next on our agenda is our public participation, and I do not believe we have any public participants tonight. Is that correct, Ms. Lemon? Okay. No public participants tonight, and so we'll move on to our consent agenda, and we'll need a motion.
I move that the Board of Education at Greeley Evans School District 6 approves the items as presented on the consent agenda and authorizes the officers to sign any and all contracts.
Second.
Thank you both. Any discussion on the agenda? I don't see any, so Ms. Lemon, will you give us a vote, please?
Director Azari?
Aye.
Director Bentley?
Aye.
Director Campos-Spitzy?
Aye.
Director Mash?
Aye.
Director Matthews?
Aye.
Director Norwood?
Aye.
Director Sullivan?
Aye.
Motion carries 7-0.
Thank you, Ms. Lemon. Finally, tonight is our second read of 2025, 2026, and 2026, 2027 calendars. And this is a second read, so it is an action item that will need a motion.
I move that the Board of Education of Greeley Evans School District 6 approves the 2025-2026 school year calendar and 2026-2027 school year calendar as presented.
Second.
Thank you both. This is a second read, so we discussed this at length 2 weeks ago, and I don't see any questions from board members. Nobody's coming to make any additional presentations to us. So I will just want to say though, thank you to all the people that participate in this. This is a very difficult job. Everything that we do is done by committees. I've said this before, but you can't even make the 5 children in the Matthews household happy. This committee can't. With 23,000 students in this district, there is no way to make everybody happy. Everybody's going to have some problem with the calendar. So it's very important work, and we very much appreciate the group that does this. And so with that, Ms. Lemon, will you give us a vote, please?
Director Azari?
Aye.
Director Bentley?
Aye.
Director Campos-Spitzy?
Aye.
Director Mash?
Aye.
Director Matthews?
Aye.
Director Norwood?
Aye.
Director Sullivan?
Aye.
Motion carries 7-0.
Thank you, Ms. Lemon. Well, that's all that we have tonight. Thank you guys for joining us. This meeting is adjourned.